The Psycho Boy
Fodder
is here with us.
Hey!
Fodder, thanks for joining us today, sir.
Kyle, you are definitely a chain guy.
Oh, man. Yeah. Thank you.
The more chains, the better. We need to Mr. T it up.
I like this. This is why I love Fodder being on here because, frankly, you know, trying to find love in this world, it's hard to do. So you got to let a little psycho to it. Psycho love. You guys have been on a roll in the NWA. Sometimes got to disagree with what you're doing there. The kendo stick, the cane, your psycho stick, as you like to call it. Please tell me the psycho stick's right there.
I have it with me.
At all times?
At all times. I actually got this one from from my friend Dave Hero. This is one that the Sandman used.
Ah, David.
Oh,
yes.
Very.
He gave it to me this weekend.
His shenanigans parties are really good if you ever get a chance to go.
Oh, well,
yes. Very, very good.
I guess let's start there. You're talking about the kendo sticks. One thing I've always been curious about is you and Tom Latimer had a knockdown drag out brawl. Like, it was insane, that match between the two of you. And to some observers, it would seem you did not get the result you wanted. Yet afterwards, I heard you saying you got exactly what you wanted.
Yes.
So,
as long as Latimer could deliver me the pain that I was looking for, I got exactly what I wanted. And I hope to run into Latimer down the road. Now that he has the title, it makes it even more meaningful for me and him to step in the ring again.
Yes,
so not a lot of people would hope for that.
He is the champion of television. That's correct.
Yes, I mean, I'd look forward to going 6 minutes or 6 rounds, whatever Latimer wants to do, if he'll do it again.
You know, you're actually going about this the absolute right way. A lot of people would be like, you didn't come out on the winning end, but what you've done is you've put out into his brain that you are an issue that he needs to deal with. You basically just forced yourself to still be in title contention before he was even champion.
I mean, that's the Psycho Love way.
I like that. Speaking of title contention, Angelina Love, the Psycho Girl herself, had quite the showing, almost came out on top. Any moment, it looks like somebody could possibly show up on the right moment, the right time, take the title off of Camille. It's a war of attrition. Is there a possibility Angelina Love's going to put herself in another situation where she could actually walk away with the championship this time?
I think so. I mean, and I think there's a mixed tag match in the future for Latimer and Camille against me and Angelina. And maybe they'll put both of the titles up on the line in the mixed tag match. So if Latimer gets pinned, Camille loses her belt. If Camille gets pinned, Latimer loses his belt.
Times like this that I wish William Patrick Corrigan watched the show. I'm joking. If he did, I want to have a job. But still, that is a good idea. I think you need to politic for that.
I will do that with the powers that be.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Hey!
Congrats, Joe. For what it's worth, I will say, I mean, you guys did have the opportunity. Maybe it's the titles you're looking for, so maybe I'm answering my own question here. But you guys were set up to face Latimer and Camille in a mixed tag match. And as we all recall on the NWA Power Live, you guys kind of ended that before it even got started by pretending not to be there. And then you guys actually were there. What was that all about?
Well, we got stuck in Atlanta. Kyle knows this all too well. We were texting Kyle at all hours of the night. Me, Joe Alonzo, Odinson, Dak Draper, Angelina, we're all there. We're trying to be on time, trying to make it to the show. We got delayed, but we did get there in time. And once we got there, Camille and Latimer already out on the stage talking jazz about Psycho Love. And then we just had to come out and put one of these to good use.
You guys know why the plane couldn't take off, right? Too much personality on one airplane. You just heard the names. Too much
personality.
Can't handle it.
There's a good question in the chat I'm actually interested in because you call it, you're called the Psycho Boy, but your fighting style seems to be anything but just outlandish and crazy and with no direction. Axel in the chat was actually asking, do you practice martial arts? It seems like maybe you've got some background, maybe.
I have never practiced martial arts. I just figured if you sideswipe a guy from the side, it's just as effective as if you know karate or jujitsu or anything else. Or if you have a weapon, why would you not use a weapon? So no martial arts for me.
Yeah, doesn't even need kendo. Doesn't even need it. Even though he got the stick. That's why he renamed it.
Got the Psycho stick, courtesy of Joe.
Yeah, buddy.
We put that to use anytime we need to. So no martial arts, but street fights, attacks from behind, anything of that nature. That's what we're all about.
Now, I know when you first came in to the NWA, a lot of people, if the ones that might have known anything about you prior to NWA would know you were part of that EC3 crew, the CYN group. What is that relationship like? We haven't seen you guys together. He seems to be off on his own path and you're on your own. Is there still a relationship there? And can you tell us anything about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, EC3 is my mentor. He has helped train me up, get me ready for places like NWA and other places that I have appeared. And without him, I definitely would not be where I am. So anytime EC3 is in trouble in the NWA, if that does occur, I know he's got a big match against Scion coming up for the belt. You never know. If he gets in trouble, maybe in that match, maybe I'll show up and make sure that EC3 has the title too.
Well, all right. So the CYN thing is far from dead. It sounds like this is a crew we should still see. I know EC3's talked about it, but it's been kind of unclear what he sees that as, but it still seems like, and I've seen backstage, there's some of the other guys lurking around every once in a while and that sort of thing. So you're saying Control Your Narrative is still a threat as its own entity as well.
As long as me and EC3 are kicking and breathing, it is.
Perfect. Right. Well, let's take a moment here. We got you for a limited time here. Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Fodder? This is your time. Ask away.
Yeah. I like some of the names that got thrown around in the chat too, by the way. Kendo Stickology, Fodder practices the style of kick your ass, which is crude but effective.
I got a question. Yeah. Where the hell does the name Fodder come from?
So if you go back and you watch when EC3 first got released from the Fed, they shot it's kind of like a cinematic fight scene. And that was shot for another promotion. And I was called up, not really called up, but EC3 just DM'd me on Instagram on a Wednesday. And he said, do you want to come do this? And I was like, when do I need to be there? And he was like, Saturday morning. So I just hopped on a flight, went down there, we did it. And in the ending credits, my name, because I was mainly just doing a lot of bumping around for EC3 in that, making him look great. And they had me listed as the Fodder in the ending credits, which we thought was great. And EC3, when we came back to do the Free the Narrative, the part 1 with Cardona and Moose and all those guys, Seidel, I was wrestling John Schuyler in that one, and then we just started calling me Psycho Boy Fodder. So it worked. I mean, EC3 has he's done a lot of creative stuff in his time, including giving me my name.
Very nice. And of course, I was trying to say this before we went on, but one of my favorite things about you, I won't say it right here, but you, your real life name is almost what my real life name was when I was born. So
very much so.
Very random thing. And I was like, holy damn, there's another one.
We bonded on that at about 1 a.m. in a hotel bar.
You're just cool people too. I remember when I saw that, I was like, wait a second, that's not possible. Nobody has that name.
100% possible, but only for me and you though.
Only for us.
Only for us.
You're definitely the cooler one that got it. Fodder is the food, the fodder that feeds others. What are we talking here? The most dangerous wrestling move. What is your most dangerous? What do you think is the thing that just will end anybody?
The Psycho Slam. Every time the guy's done in Psycho Slam. Nobody's ever kicked out of the Psycho Slam. Latimer is lucky he did not get hung up and get caught with the Psycho Slam.
Well, tomorrow night, NWA Power, you actually are going to have a match against up-and-comer VHS, Be Kind, Rewind. Do you think we're going to see the Psycho Slam in that match? I already know the answer. I think we will.
We will. And, a guy like VHS, look, I've never been a fan of dancing because I can't dance. So because I can't dance, I will take out my aggression on somebody that can, which is VHS.
I like that. You can't dance. I can't sing. When I do, I just sing this song called Ass Puncher. I made it up
There
one
will be
summer.
no dance
It'll be
off.
a thing.
We
But
will have
either
to
way.
we will have to find a karaoke bar, and we will do karaoke. Just remind me to text you the video of me and Raquel and me and Adam Shear doing karaoke at 4:00 in the morning.
Velvet Sky and I did karaoke one night. I got very drunk and I sung a Smashing Pumpkins song and sent it to Billy Corgan in the middle of the night. And I just texted him, "Singing's hard." It's true.
Very hard, very hard. I was not blessed with that skill set at all.
What title in the NWA are you currently looking to go
Wait,
after?
wait! I threw up one too. I just a side note there. Could Tyrus kick out of the Psycho Slam? This is a time for you to make a bold statement if you're willing to.
I mean, Tyrus is a massive human being. Only time will tell on that. Only time will tell. We'll have to see what
You don't know the answer until you do it.
Correct.
Interesting, but
We'll
yeah.
just
To Kyle's point, yeah, there was a question in the chat here about is there a specific title you would love to have in the National Wrestling Alliance?
The TV title, of course.
Okay, the TV title, which makes perfect sense. So hopefully we'll get to see this Tom Latimer feud continue.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see this one. Who's the toughest opponent you've successfully toppled?
The toughest opponent I've successfully beat.
Angelina Love, obviously.
That's my greatest wrestling accomplishment right there. The toughest opponent, Gangrel was a tough one.
Well, you're not a Dracula, so he definitely didn't win that. He didn't get to bite you.
Yeah. Let's see here. Toughest guys. Zach Gowen, I wrestled him in his retirement match mid last year. He was a tough guy with one leg, man. So,
imagine him on two.
Yeah, Lodi's a tough guy. There's a lot of good guys that I've worked that were very tough. Silas Young, another one.
A real man's man.
Yeah, I cheated to beat Silas, but I'm proud of it because I got to beat him. So
did you get caught?
I think it's honorable that you admit that.
No.
Yeah,
you didn't get caught.
A win's a win.
It's only cheating if you get caught, Gary.
Correct, and that match is done. It's over. It's in the books. It's on cagematch.net.
It's one of Kyle's cousins, so you might have heat with it, but
it is one of my cousins. You're absolutely correct.
Well, Fodder, Paladin is asking, since he's one of our regulars here, so we appreciate him. What's your top aspirations as a wrestler? Do you have like an ultimate goal you're trying to achieve here? Just in general, I guess.
Man, dude, every day that I get to wrestle, I'm already like living my dream. All I wanted to do was wrestle, man, from the time I was a child, and I kind of like got away from it. And then I kind of got back into it. So like I actually went to wrestling school when I was 16 years old, but they found out that I was not 18 because the guy lied and got me into the wrestling school. And then I quit going. Probably the next, that was, I was in late high school then. I didn't start training to wrestle seriously until I was 33. So I'm 36 now. So all of this with the wrestling has just happened so quickly, and being that it's happened so quickly, I've wrestled and became friends with like all the people that I used to watch on television. So, every day that I get to wrestle is I'm living my dream. I always told EC3, like, if I can just work TV for like 2 years, like that's fabulous for me. It's certainly a blessing.
I know you from online for also other than just wrestling, and you have quite the fitness background.
Oh, thank you, Kyle.
Did you
Yes.
Did you get into fitness because you wanted to break into wrestling? Was that part of the drive?
So I actually used to do music, and I used to do hip hop music, and I was going to get signed to
What?
Yeah, I was going to get signed to a record deal, and I went to New York, and they said, we like everything about you, but we just don't like the way you look. And at the time I was very overweight. And they said, take about 90 days and go hire a personal trainer. And this was around the time when like MGK and like Mac Miller, were kind of on the scene. So I was kind of like on the come up, like with those guys. And I went and I hired like a personal trainer. I got into doing the gym and I was just like, man, like I like this a lot better because, you know, in the gym, you control all your progress. So like, it's up to you to eat the diet. It's up to you to go to the gym and work out. And with doing something like music, there was just so much politics in the music on if you knew this guy or that guy, or this blog would put you on the blog. And once I kind of got out of doing it, I just kind of became obsessed with like competing and bodybuilding and doing all that. And I think ultimately it's kind of crazy, man. Like I have so many pictures of myself with like wrestlers. Like I have a picture, like Lodi helped train me up. And I have a picture of me and like Lodi when I was like 12. So it's just amazing how like the bodybuilding, like getting out of doing the music kind of led me to the bodybuilding, which had already prepared me to be a professional wrestler. Because when I started training to be a professional wrestler, everybody was telling me, they were like, look, you already got the look, you got the body, you just need to learn how to wrestle and figure out like a character and all this kind of stuff. So it's just kind of been like a wild journey to get there. But you know, the fitness definitely prepared me for this now.
Like it's Kobe in the chat, I would have thought you more of a punk rock guy. So that's interesting to hear the hip hop background.
So I actually have I have songs with like French Montana. I have songs with Mobb Deep. I have songs with Killer Mike. I mean, there's tons of guys that wild. I have done records with. I just don't really like go super public with the music anymore because it's just so long ago. Like the last time I recorded music was in 2012. And that's when I had like the single with French Montana and all that. So
I got your beat there. Last time I recorded music was 2001.
Wow. So it's just, you know, that's just one of those things where like it's just been so long now, like I hardly ever even discuss it anymore.
That's crazy. You know, Sal Renaro also was a big advocate and was trying to be a rapper at one point in time, but he was never successful.
Bullseye.
It did not stop him from rapping while him and I were traveling.
But it's one of those things where when he said that, I was like, I know another human being that does not look like would be that guy either. Speaking of not being that guy, I like the tattoos. I don't have the chest pieces and everything. Oh, what was the catalyst for getting into the tattoos? Was it something you were a fan of growing up, or it just so happened that, much like me, you just were like, I got one, and then I was like, there's some negative space. Let me get some more. Okay, boom. You got the First in Flight on your back. You got the United States gimmick on the chest.
Yeah, so I started getting tattoos, man, when I was like 17, 18. And it's just like when you first start going, man, dude, it's like you just can't stop. I mean, I was in there just every week and I'd just be like, oh, like I'll put a little something here and I'll keep adding here. And then before I knew it, I had just a wicked amount of tattoos. I think I got all of my tattoos from the age of like 18 to 21. So it was like all in that little small time span. And then when I started doing shows, because I had so many tattoos, now luckily, like I didn't get a lot of stuff like done in color, which would look great on me because I have just such pale white skin, but having so many tattoos can definitely hinder you in the bodybuilding world, you know, because they're judging your physique. And you know, luckily for me, they didn't hinder it for me at the time, but you know, I think if I had got more tattoos, they definitely would have hindered me with the judges for sure.
This is an interesting question here, though. Media wants to know if you listen to the Bee Gees.
I do. You know, I actually when we were filming, so I love 80s music. Like
the Bee Gees are 70s.
You might see me like deadlift 400 pounds, and you're probably thinking I'm listening to like some crazy rock and roll or something like that. And I listen to like,
he's in the gym getting moist, listening to the Bee Gees.
Yeah, Madonna, Holiday, or you know, Cameo or something like that. Those are. Yeah, I mean, when she's riding with me and I have the playlist on, she doesn't know anything that I play. She has no idea in terms of like the music. She's a rock.
I know we were doing some stuff for Knot Fest, and she was like going to be the hardcore person, and you were just kind of like, I'll talk about movies or something. I don't really have like that music taste.
Yeah, that's when I gave you the Halloween 1 through 4 gimmicks.
Yeah, he had to list his top 5 favorite horror movies that he did Halloween 1 through 5. So
really?
5? Ugh, that's pushing.
Hold on. No, I mean 4 and 5 are continuations of the same plot line.
Yeah, but 5 is, come on. 4 is very good.
I like
go a
3,
little
Season of the
ridiculous
Witch,
after 3.
underrated. Just
No, it is,
all right.
and it's gained a cult following.
Well, as much as I would love to continue that debate, we Fodder has obligations to one person that matters more than us, and that is Angelina Love. And so know that Psycho Love has a prior engagement plan, so they've got to get out of here. And so, Fodder, I just want to take a second to thank you for coming on, and hopefully we can have you back on. You've been an awesome guest, and it's been great to talk to you here.
Yeah, dude. Thank you guys for having me, man. I'll come back anytime you want.
Appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of this, and thanks for being a part of the NWA. You know this, man. I wish you the best.
Bullseye.
And, keep on
And tomorrow
kicking ass. You
night,
got a bullseye right
6:05. Tomorrow night, 6:05 on Power. You can see Fodder in action versus VHS. So you want to check that out on youtube.com/NWA. Thanks again, Fodder.
All right. Thanks, guys. Y'all take it easy.